Today's episode of TBA Talks Back is about our next 20-week program. Kayla and I and Kim just got done programming for 20 weeks. We got a lot of good stuff in there. We want to explain the reasons for all of it. If you don't know Kim Creighton, this is Kim Creighton, 1980 All-American powerlifter, 123 pounds, 380-pound deadlift, definitely didn't do steroids.
Anyway.
And here are her credentials, so she's clearly very qualified.
Whatever.
And Kim will now talk to you about the stabilization program.
Okay, stabilization. It's the foundation of all we do here. We can't progress to the next two programs, which are conditioning and power, unless you have good stabilization. We're trying to work on balance, some symmetry, the connective tissues like ligaments and tendons. We want those to be strong before you add load to those muscles. So in order to do that, we have you do unilateral movements. Tempo is a big part of what we do in stabilization. We're trying to get those connective tissues to be stronger to be able to have the capacity to carry the load of the muscles. So it sounds like it's easy, but when you do this program, it does bring out those flaws. But we're trying to work on those so we can have you move on to conditioning.
Awesome job, Kim. So conditioning, the first 4 to 6 weeks is about hypertrophy. We're going to do a lot of reps. We're trying to build big, thick, dense muscle fibers. After that, we're going to start building more strength. We're going to talk more into like 6 to 8 reps, trying to build raw natural strength, moving a little bit heavier loads. There is going to be a little bit more of a metabolic effect when you do the conditioning program. So you can expect almost every day, not only you do one part that's going to be a strength portion, but there's going to be something that's also going to work on balance and unilateral movements as well to make sure you're keeping that athleticism after you do the stabilization program. It'll pretty much be one step further in the stabilization program as far as your balance and coordination goes, which will then lead you into power.
Okay. Power. One thing before you decide which one you go to, and us as coaches will kind of direct you or nix if you want to go to power. Power is going to be spending a lot of time under a barbell, doing a lot of heavy squatting over the course of the 20 weeks. We're also going to be working on lowering our 5K times. Some of you may be thinking, well, that doesn't really go well together, but it will go well together. There will be a lot of running. There will also be a lot of squatting. There will also be obvious general physical changes in regards to strength-wise and power-wise, but we'll do general movements. We'll do a lot of RDLs, a lot of just full body building in a sense. We will do some bodybuilding specific type movements, hoping to gain power and gain strength over the course of that. Now, one caveat to this. If you have mobility issues, I don't want you doing power. If you can't squat properly without, if you have problems with knees caving in, ankles caving in, hip problems, imbalances, you need to start in stabilization. If you have problems going overhead, shoulder issues, I don't want you in power. If you have any other issues like that, any other back issues with squatting or anything like that, shouldn't be doing power. Conditioning and stabilization are a great option for you, and you're still going to get in great shape doing that. Power will probably be a smaller group this time, which is perfectly fine with me. I love the conditioning program that Jimmy's created as well as the stabilization program that Kim has created. So just with that in mind, check your ego at the door. If we tell you that you're not doing power, you're not doing power. You're still going to get in great shape.
And as a quick note real fast, in like 10 seconds, Kale, Kim, and I are currently doing the programs we created. They work. They're all hard. They all work.
So you can't tell me that we haven't done this. We've
Yeah.
done all these workouts.
Take that, you know who you
all
people
suck,
are.
too.
Yeah, you know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually have done all the running too.
Yeah, you know why.